Here for round 5 of Titans RX. If you've just joined us, well, you've missed Q1 and it was epic so far. This track here, you can see why everybody loves it. You can see why it's a classic. We're about to start Q2, so I'm going to quickly go over to, I'm going to go to Tamara. I'll go chat to, in the middle of a photo shoot. Tamara, hello. How are you finding this circuit so far?
It's amazing. I think so far it's the best one I've ever been to. For me, for my driving style, it's much better. So hopefully it will be a good weekend.
You seem like a different woman already just by talking to you here. You seem a lot more relaxed. Again, is that because of this circuit?
Probably so. I think once the first qualifying is out of the way, you know, it's kind of okay. Now I know more or less what's going to happen. I had a good first qualifying. I left the door open for Timmy. I did a mistake. But anyway, I tried to brake later than him, but was too late. Yeah. But yeah, I'm happy.
Good. You're happy. That's what I like to hear. Thank you very much, Tamara. Now, we're going to have a quick look at the highlights if you have just joined us.
Down towards the first corner, Ollie Webb connecting with Ronnie Searock and Tom Corrin, a bit of a passenger in that drama. That led Heikkinen to take a commanding lead, which had never been touched over the course of that race. Shushu into second position. Wasn't going to go all Shushu's way, however. Hungarian driver making a bit of a meal of turn number 1. Managed to find his way back and hold on to that second position over the course of his first race, however. Heikkinen, meanwhile, was leading the way quite commandingly. Very impressive result from the young Finnish driver. Then we saw Q1 race number 2 getting underway, and it was even more drama. Look at Ivan Araujo there, the Spanish driver, wildcard for this weekend, connecting into the side of Jerome Grosset-Janin at the first corner. Andy Jordan there, very lucky to not be collected either. That left Craig Breen out in front, and he managed to get an unassailable lead with Andy Jordan in second place. Then Jerome Grosset-Janin was in third with Ivan Araujo just behind him. Araujo looking very aggressive, trying to make up for lost ground following that drama at the first corner. Lots of great racing action taking place. This was Araujo going down the inside of Grosset-Janin at the first corner. A bit more contact between those two drivers, so certainly no love lost between them. And you can see coming out of the first corner, both of them very lucky to stay on the straight and narrow. Then Grosset-Janin suffered some technical dramas, an issue with his exhaust, however, meaning that he ended up dropping back quite significantly, having to take off the anti-lag system and dropping back through the field. There is Craig Breen taking the victory. In the meantime, though, let's go back down to Rachel, who is with Armin Araujo.
Welcome. Well, hello, Armindo. It's lovely to meet you. Welcome. How are you finding Titans RX so far?
Hello, olá Portugal, bom dia a todos, estamos cá. I hope to do a good race here. Of course, everything is new for me. It's difficult because I'm a rally driver, and now I'm fighting with the drivers inside the track. But the atmosphere is fantastic. The cars are very good. The concept is really good. I'm very confident.
And what's it like? Because you're from Montalegre. This is your hometown, your home circuit. What's it like racing here?
Okay, we are all the time in the limit, of course. All the corners you are fighting, and it's very aggressive, but I'm learning, and I like very much.
I love it when I interview drivers that are very new to the series. You're just very open-eyed. You can't really be anything else, can you?
You know, for me everything is new, and I want to do everything very good, and I want to give a good result for the Portuguese fans. I will do my best. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Good luck out there. I'll speak to you a bit later on. Thank you. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you very much indeed there, Rachel. You can see the cars all lined up here on the pre-grid. Race 1 of Q2 have already gone out onto their grid positions. We're getting an idea of who lines up where. You can see Shushu's car just in the middle of your shot. Toppy Heikkinen, winner of Race 1 Q1, to the right-hand side of your picture. There is Ronnie Searock as well, and he will be hoping for a very strong result to try and turn himself around after what's been a challenging start, I think, to his career in Titans here, Harry.
Sorry, you talk about?
Ronnie Searock.
Well, it is tough, it is true, but every race he seems to be doing better. And what you need here is a confidence. Confidence with other cars, confidence in yourself, and it only comes from the good results. And, well, race by race is improving.
Absolutely right. You can see the drivers then making their way onto the grid for the start of Q2 here at Montalegre in Portugal. The sun shining overhead, the crowds flocking to the grandstand as well. And let's keep an eye out and see who's going to get that best launch on that very long run down towards that tight first corner. Here are the standings, though, after Q1. You can see Topi Heikkinen leads the way, but by just 1 point ahead of Craig Breen, and then subsequently 2 points ahead of Kevin Hansen. All three of those drivers taking victories in their respective races in Q1. Then we've got Timmy Hansen in 4th place, a few points back, just ahead of Andy Jordan. Shushu also in the mix there as well. The top 12 drivers, of course, from the 3 qualifying sessions will go through to the semis. If it stood as it was, Tom Coronel, Perry McCarthy, and Ronnie Sample would be the 3 drivers missing out. Ollie Webb just there on the bubble. But things can all change, of course, in Rallycross, as we know, Harry.
In the very first corner, they can change hardly after the start.
Exactly. Absolutely right. Well, here are the drivers then lined up on the grid ahead of Q2, and let's get an eye of who is lining up on the grid and in which particular position. You can see Jerome Grosset-Janin in there on the inside. He lines up on pole position. Ollie Webb just alongside him. Tom Coronel in the middle. He'll be hoping for a bit of a better first corner and a bit less drama for him. Perry McCarthy, work to do for Perry as well. Difficult start to his weekend, of course, down the bottom of the timing sheets and the bottom of the point standings. Ronnie Sample just alongside him. So both Perry and Ronnie having a lot of work to do ahead of these Q2 races. Let's see whether they can turn their fortunes around here in the sunshine in Portugal. Look to the top left corner of the screen, wait for those green lights to come on, wait for those revs to rise as Q2 race 1 here at Montalegre for Titans RX Europe in 2019 about to get underway. The marshal just checking that everything is all okay with the drivers. No problems for them. Wait for that green flag to be waved at the back, wait for those revs to rise. Ready to race here at Titans RX in Montalegre. Q2 race 1 is about to get underway. The revs are rising, they're holding them for a long time, and a great launch from Coronel, great launch from Grosset-Janin on the inside as they come down towards the first corner. Ronnie Sample also getting a good launch as well as they come down towards turn 1. Tom Coronel very late on the brakes, he's overcooked it massively as Coronel, he's overshot the first corner. He had to take a penalty lap, I believe, as a result of his Q1 dramas. You can see Ronnie Sample, though, meanwhile, is ahead of Ollie Webb, so a great launch there from the Austrian driver. He is now into 2nd position ahead of Ollie Webb, and very sideways there from Webb as well, as he's looking spectacular out on track behind the wheel of his number 4. But a great start there, Harry, from Grosset-Janin, turning his tables around from Q1.
Yeah, well, good for him. He had an inside line, which is the easiest, of course, for the start, and he made the most of it, and well deserved. I mean, he has had plenty of misfortune, so let's hope that he gets his act together now.
Absolutely. Well, here is Ollie Webb getting on the attack against Ronnie Sample. Great exit out of the final corner he got. He pulls alongside the Austrian going down towards turn 1. Is he going to think about a bit of a move? Here's McCarthy making a hash of his braking zone as well and going late in towards that first corner. That allows Tom Coronel a bit of breathing space. And Coronel now up into 4th position in this race. Here is Ronnie Sample, though, meanwhile, still with Ollie Webb. Very close, and Ollie Webb actually has dropped back, so it looks like he's had a bit of drama, and now Tom Coronel is the man attacking against Ollie Webb as they come through in towards that very long sweeping right-hander. What about Tom Coronel here, Harry? We know how hugely exciting he can be over the course of this race. Adaptation is from tarmac over to Rallycross, I should say, and the side of Perry McCarthy there with a penalty lap. He'll have to take that over the course of this race.
No, he seems to adapt, Tom Coronel, he seems to adapt very well into Rallycross, and in any case, given his enormous following in social media, I think even if he doesn't win, I mean, his sponsors are always very happy, so I think we all, particularly myself, I could learn a lot from him, how to do social media. If I did 10% what he does, oh wow, I would be everywhere.
Piloting a Rallycross car very nicely indeed at the moment. Here is Ronnie Sample, very, very defensive against Ollie Webb as Webb tries to find his way around the outside, then gets a switch back through the long right-hander. Side by side they come between Webb and Sample through the right-hander. Webb is through into 2nd place. Great bit of driving there from Oliver Webb. Absolutely fantastic from the young Briton. Now his next target is going to be, of course, but he's got quite a commanding advantage out in the front of this race. Meanwhile, Coronel looking very racy against Ronnie Sample. Side by side they go down towards turn number 1, going for the outside line. Surely he's going to try the switchback. Is Coronel. You bet your bottom dollar he is. He's up the inside, and there's contact, and Sample's into the barrier as well. Huge drama in race 1 of Q2 here at Titans RX Europe. Ronnie Sample into the barrier, suspension damage. The wheels are facing one another. Oh, dearie me.
Oh, but he deserved a lot better, because it's not easy to be driving competitively with his devices, being a handicapped driver. So he would have deserved a better deal, but now Rallycross showed the murky side to him now.
Well, that is very disappointing for Ronnie Sample. You can see him trying to pilot the car, but with wheels facing in different directions. It's not going to be a very easy feat for him. Meanwhile, here is Jerome Grosset-Janin. No such dramas for the Frenchman. Exactly what he needs to turn his weekend around and his season around in TitansRX Europe, leading the way very commandingly is the Frenchman in this race, and the number 74. Brilliant driving it has been from him over the course of this one. He took the lead at the first corner and has never been seen again. Following those technical dramas he had, this is absolutely brilliant for Grosset-Janin. Through the final series of corners he goes. Grosset-Janin takes victory in Q2 race 1 here at Montalegre. Ollie Webb is going to come over the line, a bit of a way down, but in second position. And then Tom Coronel is going to take a top 3. Barry McCarthy there in 4th place, despite having to take that penalty lap. And Riley DNF, you can see the wheel there. The tyre has actually come off the rim here, Ari, as well. So that is a big bit of drama for Riley Sample. Very, very undeserving of that as well.
No, very much indeed. He was doing very well indeed, and it's not easy with the hand controls, having to deal with clutch and brake and everything with hands only. So he did well, but okay, unfortunate touch, and he paid the heavy price for it.
Yeah, exactly right. Hugely exciting drama in Q2 race 1 here at TitansRX Europe. Lots of big drama over the course of that race there, Ari. What do you think the defining moment was for you? Was it going down towards that first corner? We saw some big drama going on there, as we have done over the course of today. Or was it the likes of that incident between Sample and Ollie Webb?
No, I think the first corner is always the one what counts, particularly here when it's such a wide track and then you squeeze into this hole, and there's hardly one start without an incident.
Yeah, exactly right. And well, Riley Sample, as we say, not really deserving of what happened out there on track. What do you view of that incident between Webb and Riley Sample? We'll come back to that in a few moments there, Ari, because we're going to have a look at the results of race 1 of Q2 here at TitansRX Europe and see who finished where, just to get confirmation. You can see it does say Ollie Webb there finished at the top in the points position, so that is an incorrect graphic we've got on your screen there, of course. As we know, that isn't the final result. It's Grosset-Janin, who of course finished on top in that race, just ahead of Oliver Webb. But what do you think in terms of the incident there between Webb and Sample?
Well, Tom seemed to touch quite heavily Rainy, because suddenly his car turned in completely different direction, so that indicates that it was more than the French kiss.
Yeah, certainly so. And that's one of the things about Rallycross, is when you're in close combat with other drivers on especially loose surfaces, it can lead to contact like that.
That's right, and very hard to say afterwards, you know, was it within the limits or did somebody was too brutal? It's very hard to say.
Yeah, certainly is. You can see Barry McCarthy's car back there in Parc Fermé. Just ahead of him is Tom Coronel as well. Bit of a better race there for Coronel, not having the spins that he had and the drama that he's had so far this weekend in Montalegre. Just in front of him is Ollie Webb, and I think Ollie Webb is probably going to be a little bit interesting to see what he thinks after that one. Smiles up to us here on the stage at Montalegre, but close quarters, close racing, and contact to boot there as well. It does make it hugely exciting in terms of Rallycross. Of course, the delay for this race is because, of course, that Riley Sample's car does have to be recovered from the circuit.
And it's true also that Riley, with his hand controls, he has more difficulties to respond to a touch what Tom did to him. If he had the normal steering wheel and normal controls, maybe he could have responded better.
Yeah, exactly right there. You can see the marshals just here on the grid at the moment. Clouds coming overhead here at Montalegre. Weather's supposed to stay nice for the rest of today, and when the sunshine comes out, it's actually very hot and very nice here, but when the cloud comes over, it does cool down quite a lot. We are a bit of altitude, we're on top of a mountain, so very unique sort of place for a racetrack, isn't it?
Yes, and a couple of years ago with the World Championship Rallycross race here, it was, I think, in April, and it was about 0 degrees, and it was actually snowing here during the race, so we had this altitude, and so I think people literally needed the winter tires.
Yeah, absolutely right. Well, let's go down then, shall we, to Rachel, who is with the winner of race 1 of Q2 of Jerome Grosset-Janin.
I felt like saying welcome back then, but you had a very good time out there. Talk us through it.
Yes, Q1 was a bit rough for me, but I managed to get a clean start in Q2, and then to get 5 laps. I tried to get consistent on my lap times, not to overdrive, to not make mistakes, and just make it at the end and take pleasure to drive. So this was the main thing to me, and now we'll see how it evolves for the other drivers. But yeah, this track is amazing and a lot of things very challenging, but it's good to drive and good to be here.
What is it about this circuit that people are finding quite challenging? Because a lot of our newer drivers are finding it more difficult than maybe Lydden Hill.
Yeah, because the loose gravel part is a real gravel instead of Leiden where it's more tarmac. And yeah, it changed a lot because we have to play with the balance of the car every time and keep it in the flow to go through this fast corner on gravel. So yeah, this part is challenging.
Yeah, brilliant. Well done for that one, Sharon. We'll talk to you a bit later on, and back to you, Tom.
Thank you very much indeed. There, Rachel, you can see Riley Sample's car being recovered here at the moment. Harry, and well, I tell you what, he's going to be pretty sick as a parrot after that one. I think he's going to be less than pleased. We saw the wheels facing in different directions. That's not the way you want to be driving one of these Rallycross cars.
No, not at all. And given the fact how well he was doing, so I'm sure he was so happy of his position, and then it turned out to become something completely different. So he fell from high in that incident.
Well, the good news is we've got a hugely impressive team of mechanics and team here as well at TitansRX. So of course, once that car is recovered, they'll be straight on getting it prepared and hopefully getting it out of here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any wishbone damage or any structural damage in the suspension. So probably just a steering rod or something really simple by the looks of it. So the wheels were all the way pointing towards each other, but they were not damaged in a way as he would have hit the stone. So I think it can be fixed easily.
Yeah, absolutely right. Well, let's go into the grid then, shall we? Ahead of Q2 Race 2 here at Montalegre. Who lines up on pole position? It's none other than the Hungarian fan favourite of Shushu. Alongside him is Ivan Arias, the Spaniard. Ronnie Searock in the middle of the grid there. Good race for him last time out, as did Tamara Molinaro, a top 3 position. And then Armindo Araujo, who we spoke to earlier on in this qualifying session. He is looking for a very strong result, but starting from the outside, it can be a bad place to be, but in these circumstances where it tightens down so much, it can almost be a benefit for you.
You are always if you're on outside here, it's not an easy position. But this heat is very good. I mean, they're all, if I may say, with a due respect, a middle-class drivers. So they're all very even. That's what I mean. So where would you put your money?
Well, exactly that. Where would you put your money? I'm not betting that, so I won't put any bets down for the moment, but the ready to race board is displayed. The green flag is waving back. Revs are rising here at TitansRX. Race 2 of Q2 is about to get underway. Lights out then and blast off as we go green. Good start there from Molinaro. Good launch also from Ivan Arias on the inside, and also Araujo for the outside. Very good start as Shushu is left hanging down towards the first corner. Molinaro leads the way and gets the lead in towards that first corner. Absolutely brilliant stuff there from Molinaro. She's out a little bit wide there though. Big drama for Tamara Molinaro. She loses the lead as Ivan Arias takes over at the front there. So Arias now leads the way in the TitansRX Pantera machine, and then it is Araujo it's actually Araujo who leads the way ahead of Arias, the two wildcards here this weekend. Then it is, of course, Shushu in third position as things stand, but disappointment there. Delight to disappointment for Tamara.
Well, that was the understatement of the year. I mean, she was leading, and I mean, she normally should have come out as the first car, and she came out as the last car. So I don't. She must be kicking herself now. What happened? I don't know how she managed to do it. She deserved a better deal, but motorsport is cruel at times.
It certainly is, and Tamara Molinaro knows that more than most. Excuse me, as you can see here as well. And here is Shushu in the podium position as things stand. Despite his very poor start, he actually ended up at the back of the field. Right on board with the Hungarian driver, just going through that long sweeping right-hander. A face full of dust he has. How difficult is it to pick your line going through places like that?
With the four-wheel drive car, actually you love long sandy corners because you can floor it, you keep the power on, and you go, car can be really sideways, and you basically work with the throttle and the brake, and not so much on the steering wheel. I don't know why he does the handbrake. I would never touch a handbrake in a place like that, but well, I was just a rally driver.
Well, so is Armindo Araujo as well, to be fair, but very inexperienced in terms of rallycross, but leading very commandingly as things stand at the moment. Meanwhile, there's a great little battle going on for third position here between Shushu and Ronnie Searock, two of the regulars in TitansRX, and the German trying to find his way past the Hungarian as they go through that long sweeping right-hander. Ronnie looking very menacing here as things stand, as Shushu a little bit on the back foot here, despite starting from pole position. Doesn't seem to quite have the pace to stick in with these top two at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe this track has got so much more gravel, whereas in Lydden Hill in England we had base practically tarmac all the way through, some loose tarmac, but this is really proper sandy, soft, long corners, and there you need to be really a rally driver and to take the full advantage of this four-wheel drive. That is to say that you just keep on flooring it all the way.
Yeah, certainly so. You can see as we ride on board once again with Shushu, just the face full of dust that he's got at the moment in the form of Ivan Arias, who is in front of him, but Ronnie Searock still keeping that pressure at a constant. Lap 4 out of 5, so he's only got one more kilometre left, one more lap left to try and find his way past. Does Ronnie Searock to get himself into those top 3 positions? Of course, it's all about the finishing positions in these races, as well as the times that these drivers will be setting as well. And that'll be really good for Araujo and Arias, who have had relatively clean races so far now.
Yeah, that's right, but I still feel sorry for Tamara. I mean, her parents are here and they're watching very closely how their daughter does. And I mean, she was leading them into a corner, and normally, by all accounts, she should have come out. The first person, she was the last one. Oh well, but you don't get medals for that, from first to last in one corner.
Sadly, you do not know, unless you were counting that lead down towards that first corner. No points on the board for Tamara Molinaro, but a great race it has been for Armindo Araujo. He comes through the final corner and he is going to take victory. The local Portuguese driver on top on home soil here at Montalegre. Armindo Araujo takes his first ever victory in Q2 in Titans RX Europe. Ivan Arias, the Spaniard, in second place, and then it's Shushu who rounds off the podium. He does hold off the charge of Ronnie Searock right at the very end of that one, and then Tamara Molinaro over the line in what will be, I'm assuming, a very dejected 5th place after that crucially big mistake that she made at that first corner.
Oh, I'm sure she's looking for her handkerchief now. But at the top, these 2 Portuguese drivers, Araujo, I know very well, see him here over the years, and it's very good for the local crowd to have Portuguese drivers doing well.
Well, just looking at the damage on the front of Armindo Araujo's car here, I wonder if there was a little bit of contact between himself and Molinaro at that first corner, because that front of the Pantera is very dented indeed. I want to see a replay. We'll get highlights of the race in a few moments' time. And in fact, let's have a look at those now, shall we, and see exactly what happened in Q2 Race 2 and piece together exactly what happened to Molinaro down towards that first corner. So, of course, we had lights out and blast off. We had a brilliant start from Molinaro. We'll get those for you in just a couple of moments' time here at Titans RX Europe. You can see the cars making their way to the pre-grid ahead of race 3 of Q2 here at Montalegre as well. That is going to be an all-exciting lineup, a star-studded lineup as well, with the Hansen brothers, Topi Heikkinen as well. More of that in a few minutes' time. Let's have a look, shall we, at those highlights then of Q2 race 2 here at Montalegre. And again, try and piece together exactly what happened at that first corner for Tamara Molinaro, because we know, of course, that she and Armindo Araujo made the best start going down towards that first turn. So I do wonder whether there was a bit of contact. So let's try and piece it together, shall we, and see what happened.
Because she had a fantastic start. She was not on the inside lane, yet she won. Now, let's see what happens.
Good start, yeah, there was contact with Araujo.
It was sideways.
There was definitely contact there, and yeah, that sends her a little bit wide, sends her sideways. Very lucky to not get connected by the other drivers as well, let's be fair.
I don't really know what happened. It's a bit of a mystery. I need to speak to her now afterwards.
I think there was a bit of contact, because that bodywork damage on the front of Araujo's car would indicate that. And maybe that was all that Molinaro needed to just unsettle her Pantera and sadly drop her down to the bottom of the 5 drivers in this field. There we can see, of course, Shushu leading the charge, the 3rd position against Ronnie Searock, finding his way through. Very impressive stuff for these drivers as things stand. And this was Shushu holding on to that final podium position. And you can see just how hard he was having to fight on board with a face full of dust in front of him. Ronnie Searock piling that pressure on, but Shushu parking his car exactly where Ronnie Searock wanted to. And allowed the door to open there for the German driver. You can see how hugely exciting it was in that race. Armindo Araujo, brilliant for the local Portuguese driver. Ivan Arias as well, both in their first ever Titans RX weekend, their first ever Rallycross weekend, taking double podium positions, a 1-2 finish. Absolutely brilliant stuff. In the meantime, let's go down to the victor of race 2 of Q2. Rachel is with Armindo Araujo.
Do you know what I love? Our wild card. You were very big-eyed, a little bit apprehensive, and look at that face now. How did you find it out there?
I'm really happy. You know, I'm trying to learn the car. I'm trying to learn how to do. And I'm feeling more comfortable in the car now. And I think I'm learning the starts. And the first corner is really difficult. We did a little bit touch on the other car, but I think I like the other drivers are doing. So I'm learning, and the result is fantastic.
You're learning, you're doing great, and all I want to say is welcome to the Titans RX family. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to the Titans.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you very much indeed there, Rachel. Really great to hear from those guys. So then race 3 of Q2 is about to get underway very shortly. We'll have a look at the results, shall we, of the races that we've had so far. So here is Armando Araujo, you can see him there on top. Ivan Arez in second place, Shushu in third, Ronnie Searock in fourth, Tamara Molinaro in fifth position. So race 3 of Q2 about to get underway here at TitansRX Europe. Let's have a look at the grid lineup and guide you through who is lining up where then, shall we? So it's Topi Heikkinen on the inside. He is on pole position. Alongside him is Craig Breen in the 42. Kevin Hansen in the middle. Alongside him is brother Timmy. Those two are very familiar with one another on track as well. And Andrew Jordan on the outside. This is a star-studded lineup here, Harry. This is going to be exciting.
This is the start of this morning. That is, sorry, I'm losing my weight. I'm so excited. my voice.
It is hugely exciting. So the marshal at the front of the grid just checks that everything is all right with the drivers. Wait for that green flag to be waved at the back. Wait for the ready to race board as we get ready to go racing. Race 3 of Q2 here at Montalegre. Titans RX Europe in Portugal is about to get underway. Green light on. Great launch from Hansen brothers. They get away very well. Breen also getting away well, as does Topi Heikkinen. Andy Jordan doesn't get away so well as they go down towards the first corner, nearly 3 wide down towards turn 1. Kevin Hansen gets the whole shot. He takes the lead. Craig Breen on the inside there as well, and also Heikkinen leaning on Timmy Hansen on the outside of turn 1. Side by side they're going as well with Heikkinen and Jordan as Hansen gets ruffled out down to the back of the field. Big drama there and hugely exciting. As you can see, Heikkinen now gets himself ahead of Andrew Jordan, but it's Kevin Hansen that leads the way of Craig Breen. A hugely exciting start there, Harry.
Fantastic indeed, unpredictable, and I mean Kevin showed what it's made of.
Yeah, exactly right, exactly what we needed to see for those drivers. Kevin Hansen leading the way commandingly at the end of this first lap, but Craig Breen there very close behind in second position, and you can guarantee that Topi Heikkinen is going to be closing right up on the back of them before the end of this one. Look how closely knit this field is at the end of lap 1 here at Titans RX Europe. Brilliantly close racing between them, but now the question remains as to whether Kevin Hansen can have enough of an advantage to stop Craig Breen and potentially even Topi Heikkinen attacking towards the latter stages of this race. We're only on lap 2, still plenty of time for things to change. Meanwhile, I'll tell you what, Timmy Hansen, he is going to be wondering exactly where it all went wrong. He got a great launch, as did his brother Kevin, but he just had no room at the first corner.
That's right. It's a bit of a luck can play also its part, and you can be very well coming into a corner, and suddenly you find yourself not to be so well when you come out of the corner.
Look at Kevin Hansen going defensive as Craig Breen got great drive out of that final turn. Is Breen going to have a bit of a look? He's close, but he's not trying to make a move at the moment, because of course if he does, that's going to allow Topi Heikkinen to close up into that battle as well. Heikkinen already has bridged that gap down as Breen has been following Kevin Hansen. So let's keep an eye on and see how things go. Through that left-hander we go, then into that long banked right-hander, up the inside, nearly there for Craig Breen, but he doesn't have any room to use it, and here comes Heikkinen as well. He's trying to find his way through. Very close racing, these top 3 drivers running nose to tail as things stand. Don't get in too much of a squabble there for Breen and Heikkinen, because if they do, it'll allow Kevin Hansen to just have that buffer, that advantage that he needs. And Timmy Hansen now coming back into play now as well. Kevin Hansen once again takes the defensive line. That'll compromise his line through that right-hander. You can see Craig Breen there takes that tighter line. It compromises his exit speed though. He's not able to find his way back onto Kevin Hansen, and Kevin Hansen just increasing that advantage enough here, Harry, to not allow Breen or Heikkinen to attack.
It's very hard to get past here actually on this circuit. There's not any obvious places where you can go past.
Yeah, certainly not. You can see through the long banked right-hander we go sweeping through there onto the final lap. Will come in a few moments' time. Is anybody going to think about having a look? Of course, it's crucial in terms of the point standings. Through the left and then the right we go, and onto the final lap here at Montalegre for race 3 of Q2. Down towards that first corner for the final time of asking. Less than 1 kilometre left in terms of this race, and look how close Breen is onto the back of Kevin Hansen, and look at Heikkinen and Timmy Hansen here as well. Through the right, then the left we go onto the dirt section, and now Breen is going to have to think about it. This is really his last opportunity through this sweeping right-hander. Can he do anything? Can he find his way past Kevin Hansen? Will Hansen park his car exactly where the Irishman doesn't want him to? Through the long right-hander we go, and Breen's a little bit wide. Heikkinen's closing up, but Kevin Hansen is parking his car. Oh, and here comes Heikkinen down the inside of Breen. He finds his way through. Oh, big drama as they make more contact, and Heikkinen on the final lap finds his way through into second. Kevin Hansen takes victory in Q2 race 3. Heikkinen on the last lap finishes in in second, and Craig Green in third place at the line. What an absolutely brilliant final lap in Titans RX.
Indeed. I mean, Topi Heikkinen's overtaking was a masterclass, absolute masterclass. I mean, I wouldn't put my money on him, but yes, he did it.
Well, there wasn't a gap there, but he certainly managed to invent something there.
He opened a gap for himself, yeah.
Well, they say rubbing is racing, and well, these drivers take that quite literally, don't they? Kevin Hansen, meanwhile, what a great race from him. Got great defensive driving. Let's have a look, shall we, at the highlights then of that race and get straight into it and try and work out exactly what happened over the course of race 3 of Q2. So, great launch from the Hansen brothers down to the first corner, but Hayden got a great second phase of the start, as did Craig Breen. Down to the first corner, Breen was leaning on Hansen. Hayden was leaning on Timmy Hansen there as well. You can see Hayden versus Andy Jordan as Jordan got shuffled out wide. That ruined his race on the opening lap and sadly meant he wasn't involved in that battle for position. Kevin Hansen, meanwhile, leading the way as things stood at the end of the first lap. Then it was Craig Breen, then it was Topi Heikinen. And these three sort of set the story of the race as it allowed Timmy Hansen to close that gap from 4th position down into that top 3. You can see here Craig Breen, he had great pace behind the wheel of that Pantera RX6. He just didn't have the room to try and make a move on Kevin Hansen. Hansen there, Harry, just parking his car where Craig Breen didn't want him to.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a faultless drive, no mistakes. Never opened the door or stayed on this line. And well, you know, I don't know how Heikkinen managed to get past Breen, but Hansen did no mistakes at all.
Well, absolutely brilliant. This is the battle that we saw as well, still going off the race lead between Hansen and Heikkinen. And this is Heikkinen. Now, Breen was a little bit wide going through that right-hander. Heikkinen sent it down the inside on the curb, leaned on Craig Breen there. There was a bit more contact, and I think Breen might have even clipped the wall there or the side of Timmy Hansen. Over the line he went, did Kevin Hansen. A brilliant race for him, a great race for Topi Heikkinen, taking that second place right at the very end of that one. This is what it means for the point standings. Another 30 points on the board for Kevin Hansen, 25 points there for Topi Heikkinen, 20 points for Craig Breen, 15 points for Timmy Hansen, and then Andrew Jordan there down in 5th position, another 10 points there on the board for him. But absolutely brilliant here in Portugal, Ari, and of course, Portugal, a country that you know well, a country that you've, of course, got a hugely special connection with as well.
Very true. I was 77 a long time ago.
Apologies for your voice there, Ari. Ari's losing his voice here, so we're suffering from a little bit of overexcitement, I think, from Ari Vasten here at Titans RX.
In Portugal.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Portuguese sun, I reckon that's what it is. It might be the altitude.
No, not Portuguese sun, Portuguese sand in my throat.
Yeah, that's what it is. Probably is the Portuguese sand, isn't it? Let's go down then to Rachel, who is with Craig Breen and also Topi Heikkinen.
Do you know what I love? We've just seen a strong battle. And you two now just cracking jokes with each other. Toppy, that was incredible. Right at the end, you got it.
Yeah, but I got a bad start, and I think Kevin was a bit slow, and also Craig was behind him, and I didn't see when I saw Timmy behind me in the mirror. I thought, like, I need to do something, otherwise I'm gonna lose the next place. So I wanted to come in and try to be gentle for this good rally driver. Huh?
You gotta be so gentle. Were you very aware of how close Toppy was to you at every single second?
No, I was concentrating too much on Kevin, and yeah, like Toppy was saying, I felt I was faster, but unfortunately I don't do the whole racing thing, and I just couldn't find a way to get past. So a couple of times I dropped back a bit, and then I'd come on again, and I just couldn't make a room. But I have to say it was a fair move, and I was silly to let the door so open. So it was nice.
Brilliant. It was a great move, and you know we love watching battles like that. Is it as fun for you two that are actually involved in that battle?
At least it makes me nervous to seeing the guys behind, and you know it's a pretty easy track to overtake, but it's hard to get in close.
Yeah, and do you love it as well? Or?
It's scary for me because I'm not used to it at all. You know, it's so surreal to have people around me all the time. So I get nervous from the minute I go onto the grid. It's complete. I'm used to being alone in the forest without anybody disturbing me, and all of a sudden I've got all these lunatics.
And then you get in the car.
And then I get the car, exactly. So it's different, but I enjoy it. I have to say, it's a bit of fun for me, you know, and I'm just happy to be able to share the track with these guys that are doing it all the time. So.
And do you think your WRC experience helps you here?
I'm not so sure. It's a bit different. There's no jumps in there, but yeah, definitely for the gravel part it helps a little bit.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for talking to us, Craig. Thank you for bringing entertainment to us. Tom, back to you.
Thank you very much indeed there, Rachel. Let's take a look, shall we, at the results from those frenetic Q2 races. Absolutely brilliant stuff. You can see the support class lined up here. I'll tell you what, we've got an absolute mixture of support class races to bring you in the semi-finals and finals later. We've got Super 1600s and cross carts and everything. We'll come to that a little bit later. You see the time points here. Kevin Hansen was the fastest man in Q2, 3:28.402 for him. Toppy Heikkinen, though, not too far adrift there in second position. Craig Breen in third. Good time on the board there for the Irishman ahead of Timmy Hansen, despite not finishing where he wanted on the road. A good time for him in Q2, ahead of the two wildcards, Araujo and Arez. Andy Jordan, again, the race not going his way, but 7th place in the time points. A little bit of work for him to do there, but still 24 more points on the board for him. Grosset-Janin, though, let's not forget, he took victory, but only finishes down in 8th position after those qualifying sessions in the time points. Let's have a look at the overall standings then, shall we, after Q2. So this is Q1 and Q2's total points added up. You can see Kevin Hansen leads the way, 118 points for the young Swede ahead of Toppy Heikkinen on 114. Craig Breen, he'll be smiling from ear to ear if he can, more so than he already is, because he's on 107 there in third place ahead of Ivan Arez and then Timmy Hansen. Armindo Araujo there in 6th position. Shu, Grosset-Janin, Andy Jordan, Ronnie Searock. Ollie Webb now gets himself a little bit further off the bubble. He was in 12th position at the end of Q1. He's now into 11th ahead of Tamara Molinaro. Tom Coronel, Perry McCarthy and Riney Stample. Still a little bit of work to be doing for those guys, but there is still Q3 coming up later. That might be the opportunity that they need to get themselves into the semis and the finals here at TitansRX Europe in Montalegre. Anyway, let's head back down to Rachel.
Did you enjoy that? Was the strong battle enough for you? Was the excitement of this racing here at TitansRX enough for you? Well, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in half an hour's time for Q3 here from Montalegre in Portugal. We'll see you very soon.